Hey, good day, everybody. This is Ralph back with another three card tarot reading. And before I get into the reading, I want to give a little overview of how we do readings here at Tarot by Ralph. A lot of people that I talk with on social media, a lot of friends, a lot of people who are curious, they always tend to assume that we do fortune telling. And I keep saying we do not do fortune telling. Fortune telling is not the only way to do tarot. As a matter of fact, people who do tarot on a serious level, like we do not do fortune telling. Fortune telling is, trying to predict the future, trying to entertain people by, telling them either giving them a very good fortune or, scaring the heck out of them and getting a kick out of that by giving them a bad reading, a bad fortune. We do not do fortune telling. What we do is that we use the tarot as a tool to help people become better in their lives, to help motivate people, to help guide people through life situations, to help to give clarity in certain situations. And the way that we do that, the way that a lot of people do that, who work from a motivational type of a background, is that we look at the cards. Well, first, what we do is we listen to the client and we listen to the question the client has. And we will spend a few minutes connecting to the client, finding out a little bit about who they are, what they are going through, what problems they are having, and what the basis of their question actually is. Because once you understand the basis of the question, you can begin to help them find the answers that they need. And so, yeah, we will spend a few minutes getting to know the client, listening to their problem, and then we'll deal out the cards. And then we'll look at the cards and start acting as more or less as creative consultants, where you use your own creative imagination to look at the cards and then relate that to the question at hand and attempt to give the client the best possible answer that you can using your creative imagination, using your gut intuition, and just connecting with them, the higher power of your understanding, the higher power of their understanding, and help to guide them into a better situation. And what we try to do, we don't make predictions, but what we do is that we want to give people enough information about what they are going through in the present moment that they don't have to worry about predicting the future. Instead, they can take the information that they gain and use it to craft their own future. So yeah, when I look at the tarot, I'm not looking at, future outcomes that are set in stone. What I'm looking at in every card, what I'm looking for are suggestions as to what the client has gone through in the past, what they're going through now, and what actions they can take in the present moment in order to create the future outcome of their desire and what the future energy is. If we're looking at the past and the present stream, how that is going to coalesce into the future. So again, not predicting the future, but giving the client an idea. Okay, if you keep going down this path, you can expect more of this to happen. But if you make change, if you make positive change, then you can change that future outcome and start going after a future outcome more of your own, making one that you desire, not one that you dread. So that's how we do it. Not divination. Well, divination, we interpret that in a different way. I'll save that for another video, but definitely not fortune telling. This is tarot for motivational growth, tarot for change, which is an excellent book, by the way, by Jessica Dorr. She was a social worker. I'm not sure what she's doing these days, but she would give tarot readings, and I mean, she priced her tarot readings. Uh, I would say for her level of professionalism, she charged. Her charge was kind of modest. It's about 3 times what we charge, and we've been doing it professionally for 15 years. But she was a licensed social worker. She had a good background in psychology, and she brought that into her tarot practice. And she wrote the book, Tarot for Change, which I am listening to now again on Amazon Audible. Great book if you want to get it. But she gives a lot of great insights into how we can apply tarot to our lives on a motivational type basis and through the lens of trying to make positive change in life, not just predicting future outcomes, not just making wild predictions, but giving sound advice that will help people solve their problems in the here and now and build a better future. So that's how we do it too. And there's a lot of other people that do it like that. So if your idea of tarot is just somebody, in a gypsy turban looking into a crystal ball with the cards, yeah, I've got the crystal ball. I inherited that from my grandmother. She didn't give me the gypsy turban, however, but she used to do this stuff back in the 1940s, 1930s using standard playing cards. She taught me a little bit about the craft. I use it using tarot cards, and again, not for fortune telling, but for motivation. And yeah, but if that's your idea of tarot reading, I suggest you update your roadmap because there are analysts, there are psychologists, there are professionals that do tarot, not to predict the future, but to find out where they are in the present, to get good creative ideas by looking at the cards and then using that information to build a better life for themselves and to build the future of their desires, not just something that is fated. I 100% do not believe in fate. I believe in free will, and I believe that we can use our free will and the knowledge that we have in the present, if we act on it, to create a far better future outcome than most people realize. We create our own reality, our own world, with our own inner attitudes and our outer actions. And this is something that a lot of people in the divination space and the fortune telling space refuse to admit. But yeah, you have free will. Be an active participant in your own life and make change happen. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get to our 3 cards for the day. I drew out 3 cards. Just a general question: what is the energy of this day? And this is not a specific reading. This is just a general reading. Can apply in many different ways to many different things. I'm just giving a little general idea of what I see in these cards. And the first card, representing the past, from the Morgan Greer Tarot deck, is the 3 of Swords. A lot of people call this the Sorrow card. 3 is a number of creation. It is a number of creativity. It is a number of Trinity. And yes, in this context, it can represent change, creative change that maybe did not work out as well as you had hoped. Sorrow, disappointment. It can also mean more pleasant change, more pleasant things coming about in life. But the general interpretation that a lot of people give to this card, because of the imagery, is sorrow, disappointment. And life is full of sorrow. Life has more than its share of disappointments. And the mistake that a lot of people make is that they will be wounded either in love, they will be wounded in business, they will be wounded in some other way. And then they will get a negative attitude that this is all I can expect from life. And that's a mistake. But when I was growing up, we had a saying, once bitten, twice shy. And we applied it a lot to people in the in love and relationships area. But you can also see that in business. Somebody that's been screwed over, let's say, in a certain business opportunity, they may not trust another business opportunity for quite a few years. And I've been there myself. One of my first businesses, well, my absolute first business was doing tarot reading. And we've been doing this for 15 years. We're still doing it today. But I also got started in affiliate marketing and rev share programs, things like that online. Found a few programs that I thought looked good. In hindsight, now I know they were terrible, but at the time it seemed like a good idea, and really lost money on quite a few businesses. And it took me a long time to get over, getting into a business time and time again that scammed out or just, petered out on me and many, many others. And it took me a long time to be able to trust online businesses again. But once I did, I kind of learned from my own experience, from my own mistakes, and from my own successes, which eventually came. I learned what to look for in an honest business and what to stay away from. And I share a lot of that on other channels. But it took me a long time to get over those early losses in online business. A lot of people are the same way in love and relationships, romance. Women out there that get involved with a guy, they think he's going to be a good boyfriend, maybe a good husband. Guys that get involved with a good woman, they think she's a good woman, and then they get burned. The person just ignores them, or maybe takes them for a ride. Maybe they ask for money and then they take the money and they leave town. And a lot of times people will get the idea that this is all I can expect out of people. Women who have been burned by men who no longer trust men, men who get burned by women who no longer trust women. They take this disappointment and they think, instead of seeing this as part of their past, they make the mistake of making this part of their future. And they get this negative attitude that this is all I can expect in life. And the thing is, we tend to create our own future through our own inner attitudes, our own perceptions, the way that we see things. And if we see ourselves as being fated, being doomed to nothing but disappointment, to nothing but sorrow, guess what? That is the kind of life you will create for yourself. Don't blame Mercury retrograde. Don't blame any of the gods. Don't blame the universe or the stars or the planets. Look within. Ask yourself, what is my inner attitude? I have known guys who have been married and divorced 5 times. They keep trying it out. They keep thinking, well, I just had bad luck, I got into one bad marriage. It was bad luck. I'm not going to do that again. They get into another marriage. It ends. They think, okay, that's more bad luck. Next one's going to be better. Meanwhile, by the time they get to marriage number 5, they still haven't figured out that the root problem is not outside. It's not outside in the other people. It's right here. Clean up your own negative attitude. Clean up your own misperceptions. Look at your attitudes about life. Is this all that you think you deserve? And believe it or not, there are a lot of people out there who think this is all they deserve. sadness, sorrow. They were raised with it. They experienced it in their childhood. They experienced it as young adults. And they think this is all the universe has in store for me. But the minute you start to take this card, turn it upside down, mend that heartbreak, make peace with your past. Don't be dragging that past energy into your own future. Be more creative than that. See what the universe has in store for you. See what gifts the universe has for you. And when you do go through difficulties in this life, as we all will, as we all do, ask yourself the question, what is life trying to teach me? And the sooner you learn that lesson, the better off things will be for you. But if you keep just writing things off as bad luck or I am bad, I don't deserve anything better, you won't fix the problem. You'll just keep repeating the problem over and over and over again. So yeah, sorrow is in the past. Congratulations. We all go through sorrow. It's in the past. Keep it there. And learn from it. Now, the second card here, stability. This is a Four of Pentacles. Again, from the Morgan Greer Tarot. That's the deck that I'm using today. And yeah, this can stand for two things, actually. Stability, like you've had sorrow in the past. Now in the present, you've begun to figure things out. Good on you. You know, that's good news. And so it can mean that, okay, you've recovered a little bit. You've had your disappointment. Now you're in a period of stability. And now you have a foundation upon which to grow. And that can be some very good news. It also has a negative side to it. Every tarot card in the deck has a positive side and they've got a negative side. The negative side to the Four of Pentacles card is that maybe you have learned from your sorrows in the past that you need to hang on tight to your money. Hang on tight to your business opportunities. Hang on tight to whatever it is you have. Don't let go of it. Don't invest it. Just put your money in a mattress because banks can't be trusted, and just choose to stay stuck rather than growing. I heard a great story many, many years ago about a guy that lived through the Great Depression. He lost his life savings in the banks. You know, the bank runs of, 1929, 1930. He lost a bundle. And so what he did, after he got his money back, after he started working again, he never put his money in a bank again. What he did, he took his money, put it in a coffee jar, and he would bury the coffee jar outside in the yard. And whenever he needed some money, instead of going to the bank, he'd dig up the backyard, dig up that coffee can, and take out the money that he needed and go out and spend it. But that was his habit. Did not trust the banks, so he never gained any interest on his money, which he could have, because this was back in the days when banks actually paid good interest on, small accounts and big accounts too. But what happened is this guy died. And his children, his family, they knew the money was buried out in the backyard. They didn't know exactly where in the backyard the money was buried. And so they dug up that backyard, and eventually they came across the rusted remains of a coffee can with no money in it. It looks like the can had rusted wide open. It took them a few years to dig all around the backyard and find the can full of money. And by the time they found it, the worms had gotten to it. So I don't know how many hundreds or thousands of dollars was lost, but that's an example about how you can actually shortchange yourself by hanging on too tightly. See, whatever we're talking about in life, If we're talking about money, money is also known as currency. Money is like a current, it has to flow. If you stop the flow of money out of your life, like might be suggested in this card here, hanging on to your pentacles, not wanting to let go of them, then you interrupt the flow of prosperity. And when that happens, yeah, the universe will just say, okay, you're not using the gifts that we've given you, so we'll just stop giving you more gifts. But when you let your money flow wisely, not foolishly, yes, learn your lessons, learn which institutions you can trust, learn which institutions you cannot trust, and when you let your money flow, when you let your gifts, whatever they may be, flow out into the universe, you create room inside for more good things to come into your life. And the problem that can be seen in the Four of Pentacles card, you can go from stability to stagnation. And that's not good. If you are in the same place now that you were in 10 years ago, you're hurting. You are hurting financially. Now, if we're talking about love and relationships, if you've been married for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, you're probably doing okay. Unless you feel trapped in a loveless marriage, in which case, yeah, you need to work on a few things. But financially, if you're still stuck where you used to be 10 years ago, chances are you're not eating the way you used to. You've probably gone from steak and hamburger to rice and beans. You know, everything goes up over time. And if your income has not gone up over time because, you know, you haven't wanted to risk anything to get your income to be increased, then yeah, you're hurting. But if you're using the gifts that the universe gives you and using them wisely, not rashly, but using them to help benefit other people as well as yourself, then yeah, you can go from stagnation and stability to steady growth. And yeah, before steady growth can happen, you need to have a stable foundation to build on. But a mistake that a lot of people will make is they will look at their stable foundation and they'll think that's all I need. And nothing more will be built and they'll stay stuck. So yeah, get yourself a stable foundation. If you already have a stable foundation, use it as a basis for future growth, but don't stay stuck there. So yeah, stability, but also the possibility of getting stuck. And then our last card here, our future energy card, is the 10, excuse me. Yeah, the 10 of Wands. And I mean, this card stands for conclusions. It can also stand for the idea that you have accomplished a lot along your life path. You need to take it a little bit further. Take it the rest of the way. Don't give up yet. Take your load the rest of the way and see things out to their happy conclusion. So, in summary, what we have here, first card here, past, sorrow, disappointment. Keep that in the past. Don't bring it into the present. Learn from it, but don't bring it into the present. And for God's sake, don't project it into your future either. Yes, you've made mistakes. Yes, you've screwed up. Yes, you've had sorrow and disappointments. It's part of your past history does not have to be part of your present or part of your future history. And then the second card here, stability, the Four of Pentacles. And yeah, you've got a firm foundation. Now build on it. Don't stay stuck there. Build on it. And then creatively work with other people. Wands, I tend to see this as the networking card. It's also a card representing spirit and fire and passion and energy. And yeah, whatever it is that you're building, whatever it is that you want to build on today, approach that project with fire. Approach it with passion. Approach it with love. And don't be afraid of reaching out to other people who might be interested in what it is that you have to offer. If you're in sales, a lot of people in sales, they don't like talking about themselves on social media. A lot of people in love and relationships, they don't like talking about themselves, or maybe they go overboard. They talk too much about themselves. But some people are shy. They want to stay hidden. And one reminder that we can see in the 10 of Wands card is to get over that. Reach out to other people, do your networking, whatever it is that you're looking for in life. If you're looking for business opportunities, then get out there and talk to people. That's how we grow. That's how we learn. If you're in a business and you're not making sales, or maybe you're not making very many sales yet, again, go out there and talk to people. Do your networking. Talk to people, find out what their problems are, and then take a look at what you have. Do you have something that can help somebody else solve a problem? And then ask them if they would like to take a look. But yeah, network, reach out to other people, and let yourself be known. And so, yeah, the 10 of Wands card, definitely here. A card of networking, a card of pushing on, keep going. Because when you get into a new project, a new enterprise, whether it be a love and relationships type of a thing, or a business thing, or family thing, a lot of times we can get started in something with a lot of enthusiasm. But then after a day or two, the enthusiasm begins to wane. Maybe we forget all about it. We don't take action on it, and we just let things slide to the point where nothing ever gets done. And we go from having this really great idea that we're excited about to just a week later being stuck in the same situation with no clue how to get out. Remember what your goals are and work to attain your goals, whether they be relationship goals, business goals, financial goals, family goals, whatever. Clearly state your goals. Tell the universe, the God of your understanding, what it is you want in life, and then start making plans as to how you can achieve that goal. And a lot of people will spend a lot of time praying. They will spend a lot of time telling the universe what they want, maybe even screaming at the universe. What we also need to remember to do is to take time to be quiet and listen to the universe. Because when we get goals that we want to achieve, and we're clear with ourselves and with our higher power what these goals are, then after we've made that statement, if we spend a few minutes every day just listening, we'll find that we receive a plan from our higher power, from the universe, from the God of your understanding. You will receive a plan, not a step-by-step, blueprint of how to proceed, but what you need to know right now in order to start attaining your goals in life. So yeah, take time to tell the universe what you want, be clear on it yourself, and then listen. And then take action and don't stop until you've achieved your ends. So that's the lesson for today. Overcoming sorrow, seeing that you have, right now, a firm enough foundation to build on, and work up that courage to start building. Start doing what you can do right now to make change in your life. May not be pleasant, and it will involve stepping outside of your comfort zone. But once you accomplish that, change can begin to take place. All right. Hope you found some value in this. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you would like to book a tarot reading with us by phone, my wife and I have both been doing tarot professionally for 15 years. And oddly enough, we both started studying tarot. My God, for me, it was back in the 1970s in high school. And my wife, she started uh, researching it as a kid too. But we've been doing this for a long time. So if you would like to book a tarot reading with us, I do it in English. She does it in Spanish. You can go to my main link, which is going to be in the program description down below, ralphstarot.com. So until later, this is Ralph signing out. Thanks for dropping by. Catch you in future updates and talk soon. Bye bye.